Everyone has their own favourite stance, but there are only two basic ways to stand on a board. Regular means your left leg is forward. Goofy means your right leg is forward. This is slightly less common. If you're not sure which feels natural for you, think which way you'd stand if you were sliding along a wooden floor in your socks, or which foot you'd put forward in a tug of war. Next, you need to decide your stance width. As a starting point, measure the distance from your heel to your kneecap. Stretch the measuring tape between the inserts and mark your chosen stance width against the nearest set of holes, ensuring the distance to the nose is not shorter than the distance to the tail. If you're still unsure, then most boards provide a reference stance on the inserts, which you can use until you figure out what works best for you. A common mistake is to place the bindings the wrong way round, with the buckles on the inside. Before preparing to fix them down, double check that your front binding is facing the nose, so that the ratchets are tightened on the outside of your boot. The angle of your bindings can be adjusted using the insert discs. Hold the binding and push the disc up from below with your fingers. Note there are numbers on the disc. Each notch is usually 3 degrees. Rotate the disc until your chosen angle faces the marker on the base plate, and let it settle back into place like a cog. The angles you choose are a matter of preference. The front binding is always angled forwards, usually between 12 and 18 degrees, while the rear binding might be slightly forwards, slightly backwards, or dead flat. Most people have a duck stance, meaning the toes are angled outwards in opposite directions. Play around with it and see what feels comfortable. And remember, you can always change your mind later. Next, carefully line up your binding over your chosen insert holes and place a washer and screw above each. Lightly screw down the first, then repeat for the remaining 3. Doing it like this means you have a little wriggle room to line up all the threads. Once all 4 screws are engaged, screw them down tightly. Flip down the footbed and press firmly into place. Now strap into your board and see how it feels. If the width or angles are uncomfortable, adjust them again. For fine-tuning the straps and other features on the bindings, see our next episode.